about this. You said in the chat about your dream to be a trad wife, a traditional wife. You want to talk about that, or is that too personal?
No, I mean it's fine. Yeah, so I have always, I don't know, it's just something I've always wanted to do. I think that it comes from a place of I want to have children and I want to or adopt children, I guess. I want to adopt children and I want to give them the best life that I possibly can. And I think that the best life that a child can have is spending time with their parents before their parents go away. I think that homeschooling is very, very beneficial for children. I think that there is an argument that the social aspects of public school is good for kids, but the rest of it really isn't. And like if you homeschool, you're able to keep your kids at home and you're able to let them learn from you. And not only that, but like really format their education tailored to them in a way like we're not all the same cookie cutter people. So I think it's really important to me if I was to take the time to adopt children that I do the best that I can. I do better than my parents did. And I think that homeschooling is part of that. I just feel very strongly that homeschooling or unschooling or some kind of more time with your parents as opposed to abandoning them all day. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like I could do more. And I feel like it's something that's important. So then that comes into play when I'm talking about like the relationship dynamic that I want. Because in order to homeschool, you really need the roles in the relationship. You need someone, and I see this person being me, who is going to stay home with the kids, who's going to make sure the house stays clean, like run errands, go do what needs to happen, like kind of run the house. And then you need another person who's going to unfortunately be gone a good chunk of time and work and get money to pay bills. And like we just live in a society that you need money. If we
Yeah.
lived in a society that you didn't have money, I would probably say it's not really not necessary for you to work full time. Just kind of go get what you need type thing, provide in the way. But we live in a society where this is money and where you do this by working. And it's just the reality of the situation. I think that I would love to be the person who has dinner ready. Like, I want to serve my family. I want to make meals. I want to clean the house. I want to drive people to where they need it. Like, I want to drive my kids to like soccer practice. I want to like take them on field trips. I want to like go to the beach. I want to like spend most of my time with my kids. Like, I also like um when I was growing up, like I did have so I definitely did not grow up in like a traditional type situation. Like my dad was kind of like a single father for most of it. I stayed with my mom as a single mother for like 1 or 2 years when I was really young, but for the most part, I was raised by a single father. And the best memories I have are like doing things with him, like going camping, going and doing like this, that, or the other thing. And even still, like a lot of times going to hang out at his friends' houses. Like I really like going and hanging out with my dad's friends. And it wasn't like usually there was some other kids around or there was like something for me and my brother to do while they were hanging out. But I thought that was cool. And like now that I'm on the adult side of things, I'm like, I don't know, like I still think I can have like some time for myself where I go and hang out with my friends and just bring my kids with me. You know what I mean? Like I think that makes sense while additionally spending as much time with them as I can, you know?
Yeah.
So that it kind of goes from the like thinking of how I want to adopt children is where it kind of comes from. And like realizing that the lifestyle I want in order to spend that much time with my kids requires having a partner who's going to want to work and pay bills and provide financially. Um, so the flip side of that is if they're going to be providing financially, I really do want to do everything for them like that I can. Like I want to make sure things are clean. I want to be doing that like housewife role. So it's kind of the whole dynamic of like I want to homeschool my kids that drives me toward like I want to be like a trad wife. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
kind of like
Yeah.
that. that
it,
connection.
well, I think it's
Logistically,
refreshing.
it just kind of is what it
I think it's
is.
actually really cool to see someone of your age, as a young person, to admit that they want that lifestyle, which most people would probably not admit that because that's not what's in. That's not what's been happening. It's it's more been happening to just live like the way most young people are these days, with no commitment and no direction and not caring about relationships. And they certainly wouldn't care about whether they were raising children right. And I love what you said about homeschooling. As a homeschooled child, I approve this message. Homeschooling is great. And
Yeah.
when my mom homeschooled me, she did what she thought was best. And let's be honest, I was bullied a lot back when I was in elementary school. And when we moved to Missouri, my mom was able to legally homeschool me because there different states have different laws about homeschooling, and in a lot of places you're not even allowed to homeschool. And I think what's been happening is the government has been, pushing more and more the economy into a situation where all the men and women all have to work, and then the government takes over brainwashing their children. The parents no longer get to teach their children anything, and public school is a mess. And kids aren't usually learning the important things they need to learn anyway. Like they waste so much time with algebra and they're not even learning basic life skills and not learning how to actually read and write. And it's like, I do think not everybody can homeschool, but I do think for those who can, it's a great thing. And I should know. And I often say that the reason that I accomplished so much is because my mom did give me a good foundation in some of the things that really mattered. But I think it's admirable your idea about adopting children and homeschooling them. That's just so cool, and that's just so similar to how I actually grew up because I grew up with a single mother. That's how it was with
Mhm.
me. And my mom is all I have. And it's very interesting because the only person in my life is my mom. All my other family is either people I don't talk to on my dad's side of the family or my sister who's in Minnesota. And so I get sad sometimes when I think about how when my mom dies, I have nobody. Like I literally have nobody, and it's just me by myself in Lisa, Missouri. And what will happen to me? I'm sad about that. And it's not my choice. That's just my lot in life. That's the way it's happened. And I'm a person who works all the time pretty much. I work full time at Walmart, and then I'm doing online school too. And that's a whole funny story how that happened. Before I got the job at Walmart, I joined Full Sail University. I'm just like, you know what? I want to go to school. I want to earn my bachelor's degree, whatever. And I'm just driven for success because I feel like I've thrown myself into my work because that's all I have. When I have no social life and I have like no friends, it's just like I'm just driven to succeed at something because apparently I have failed at relationships in society, you know?
Yeah. How did your mom, so she was like a single mother and homeschooled you? How did she manage to do that?
Well, that's the part that's so
That's
sad.
impressive.
That's the part about it that's so sad is that for the most part, our only income was SSI, supplemental security income. So basically, I grew up always being poor, only the money that we had from the government, living in low income housing, high crime neighborhoods, not having enough food, relying on food pantries. I remember how I would go to the creek and I would, eat random plants and grass and stuff like that just because other food costs money. We didn't have, there wasn't enough food, and I just thought, hey, I'm just going to go eat things in nature. So what happened with me early on, and there's also the fact that my dad didn't really feed me or take care of me back when I did visit him when I was a child up in Minnesota. So